Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So yes, this video is the rest of my trip to Brackley Antique Centre, and this was really to, I think I mentioned before, this is part 2, but this is to really cover the stuff I didn't do. So these two films combined is only really a third of the Antique Centre, and I have edited a few bits out. It is a bit shorter than the previous one, because basically I was only doing a third. But anyway, I did buy something. I have an excuse for not showing it to you, but I'll explain what I bought anyway. And yeah, it's a really good place. I can't recommend it enough. I spied quite a few bargains. I spied some unusual things. I was able to dive in and try and research a bit. So yeah, it's always good going to Brackley. And from doing these films, going through every shelf and looking a bit deeper, yeah, I'm enjoying it more going there. And there were some things I would have bought, but I can't just go bringing stuff home all the time because, yeah, too much glass. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Sometimes it's nice to have diagnostic things between. So these ribbed wares like this, these were made from 1830s to 1880s. Look at the way the foot is and everything. Yeah. Whereas this, I don't know when it was made, but look at the foot again. It's the way it's put together. You know, slightly different shape in this inverted baluster. It's a bit rounder, but with a little bit there and a little bit there. So this tells you this is most likely to be Victorian. I think it's Victorian. Let's pull it down. See what this. Yeah, look at the base. Look at that wear. And the pontil is not properly, it is polished, yeah. But yeah, the quality of the make says Victorian as well. So it's nice to see that when you, just to show you guys. The book I'm looking at here is The Decanter, Ancient to Modern by Andy McConnell. And you've got a couple of these decanters here on the left with the rib moulding. Yeah, I won't have any more accurate I know that they did carafes and glasses and all sorts of stuff, but this is a decanter book, but I'm showing you the same rib moulding style. So yeah, so he's dated these in here, the decanter on the left there, as a drawing from 1849, the one next, and then the one in the middle, number 3, that's from 1845. And yeah, and if I go over several pages, here is the same decanter again, and this is an advert from 1880. So as you can see, and look, there is actually another piece of the wares there. It's a little measure. As I said, there are bigger ones, there's smaller ones, there's glasses, and there's little celery vases, it looks like that one. So anyway, there you go. That gives you, I have got an advert somewhere from the 1830s, but I don't know where it is at this moment. But anyway, there you go. For this ribware, you will see not just the decanters, you will see other things. The other things are less common than the decanters though. This book is the Victorian Catalogue of Household Goods by Dorothy Bosomworth, and it's dated about 1883, these pages. And what you've got is similar feet here with this baluster. It doesn't have a little notch at the bottom, neither does that one. Then you've got this one that does, but it's not a baluster. Then you've got this one, which is probably the most similar, although the baluster is more heavily squished down onto the base there. And then you've got another one where the baluster is sitting straight on the foot, but it doesn't have the little step like this one does. So yeah, trying to find references for this kind of common wares, let's say, from this period is very difficult. You just get used to, you see fancy stuff in the same shape occasionally, that is in books, or you go somewhere like this and try to match it out. But yeah, this is the kind of stem and foot arrangement. This is actually pressed glass, so they were copying the period. And I know that this pressed glass is, some of these designs are a bit earlier. So like I know this pattern here is Molyneux Webb from 1864. That's the same, basically the same pattern with some etching on it. But yeah, so I reckon the way that those stems looks on those celery glasses looks kind of 1860s to my eyes, when you kind of match it up against lots of different things. So I've got something interesting on this table here. I mean, not that just looks like it's in Poli, very common. One over there, that looks like in Poli. This is French, probably Luminarc, because they did these. Yeah, don't know that, don't know that, but I do know this, and I've never been able to get near to one. So this is made in Taiwan. I just wanted to pick it up and have a look underneath and look at, wow. So from the top, it looks like it's decent quality. From the bottom, it looks like a dog's dinner. Yeah. So it's got broken bottle that's been just roughly scraped out. I would say not even very well done. And the base of it is just gnarly. Yeah, that's interesting. So I just wanted to see how it was different from the Chinese ones. And the answer is, it's very different, because the bases of the Chinese ones that are kind of not the same look, but kind of with the little handles and everything. And some of these have whiter interiors. So the interior white casing is not as white as it is with the Chinese ones. Yeah, the base on the Chinese ones is much better. This is like, as I said, dog's dinner. The website we're looking at here is 20thcenturyglass.com, and yeah, so this is an orange version of what we were looking at there. And yeah, in actual fact, he has, so the references he's got here are ones with labels on saying they're made in Taiwan, and he has actually got a picture of a base, and let's have a look at that. And actually this one is actually still like a dog's dinner. It's not great, is it? But it's a bit better. It's a bit more regular than the one that I was looking at just now, but still, yeah, not great. And yeah, he has given a date on these. It's 1970s. So there you go. And this is why crisscrossy patterns do me. So I know this pattern. This is Stuart Crystal, Glengarry. We saw a decanter earlier with the same pattern, but then you've got another crisscrossy one with a fan on the top. Yeah, don't know that one. There's another one. This is crisscrossy, but it's got more uprights than that one. Then you've got another one with a crisscrossy with a fan on it, and then more crisscrossy fan, crisscrossy fan, crisscrossy fan. Oh, label. This is German, and I've seen this maker before. They're doing more of the same. These are Pall Mall. These are pre-war. From you get these at Woolies with the needle etching, really basic pattern. These are Victorian. These look Bohemian. This in the back, though, yeah, that's Bohemian, I think, and I think it's 1950s. I don't mind them saying Art Deco, because it doesn't actually necessarily mean it's pre-war. It's the style. But yeah, that's quite cute. The website I'm looking at here is the Czech Glass Guide .cz, and yeah, so I couldn't find anything exactly the same. To give you an idea of the size of this job, that's the glass works that are in here. Yeah, there's just hundreds, but I'll point out a feature. One, this is coloured glass with got gold gilding on it. It's got some dots on it. Yeah, that's not here, but the way the neck is done and the pouring lip is very distinctive. Now, there was a couple of glass houses in the UK that did it this style. The French did it, but at this time when this kind of glass was being made in Czech Republic, everybody seemed to be doing it like this, in this style, with this cut rim that's like a little semicircle that comes up and then a cut off rim. The date he's got here is 1956, which, as I said, it looks kind of Art Deco, but it's not. And I'm not going to dig into this too much. I could just never stop. Look, this is just one manufacturer, and look, there's another one with the same style rim. Yes, I don't know where the end. There's 12 pages worth here. Is that the end? No, it is. But you get the idea. This is just one manufacturer. There's just, I've had a wade. I did find another one that's similar. You can see the same style cut. This is a different manufacturer, and with rings as well on the stopper. So yeah, it could be them either, Crystal X. So anyway, you get the idea. This is why when I see things that look like this with the gilding, usually coloured glass, the pouring lip looks like this, and they have a certain style to them. Yeah, I usually go, yeah, it's Bohemian. Do you remember in a previous video I was talking about casing, flashing and staining, and they're kind of like casing is thicker, flashing is thinner, and staining is just like a heated on pattern. This is staining, and if you look here you can see where little scratches have worn through it. Can you see that? So from the inside, yeah. So it comes off, well, it's so thin, it is heat treated into the surface, but it's so thin that, yeah, if you put it against anything rough, it will scratch through it. Dartington flower, that's cute. It looks very Scandinavian looking. Oh, and it's got a label. I'm going to try and find that. That's quite nice. Very Scandinavian looking, as I said. But Dartington. The book I'm looking at here is Dartington Glass, the First 20 Years by Linda and Stuart Smithson. And yeah, here's the little daisy paperweight, it's called. FT208. Why he's got weight for it written, I don't know. That's a thing they did. The date on this at the top of the page is 1976. So yeah, very Scandi, and it's, yeah, daisies were a thing for him. There's a lot of other daisy related things on this page. So yeah, and there's lots of other designs that Dartington did with daisy patterns on them. So this camera's got something, Jasper Conran, Waterford. So he tried to, well, he didn't try, he did do some patterns for them. £60 because it's Waterford for 2 glasses. Yeah, expensive. So I thought I would try and find those Waterford glasses. So I went to replacements first, because they have a massive range. They've got dozens of Waterford glasses. I put in Jasper Conran, and yeah, not there. So I thought I'd go another one. This is Discontinued Designs, and yeah, they don't have it either. So I did some mucking around, and I found that it's something called Shine. The pattern is called Shine. This is a sort of like a taller version of it. I can't find any of the shorter ones like we were looking at. There's some wine glasses which are a bit rounded, but it's just this horizontal rounded groove. That's all you get. So I thought it doesn't look very common. you know, I scroll down and it just immediately starts doing other patterns, even though shine is in the search. So yeah, there's not a lot of it. Yeah, there's some here on Etsy. These ones are £30, £90 for 3, and then you've got these ones. So I did actually look at this, £180 for 2 glasses. That's a lot of money. Yeah, I kind of wasn't. I think £30. So the pair that they had there. Is there any more? No. You can see. Look, it quickly fizzles off. There's no more. But anyway, so the price. I think it would be a service that's difficult to make into a service that you would use regularly with lots of different glasses, because it just doesn't seem to be a lot of it. And when these people says rare find in Etsy, I think they probably mean it. And I found something here. Here's a look at this. So this is I think this is Stozzle, £2 for a nice big bowl from 1930s. Yep, that's quite a cool thing. Yeah, I don't recognise the. It looks very modern, the lacy bowl there. So I'm looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and this is a plate version of the bowl. Yeah, it confirms it's Stozzle. I'm never sure exactly how to pronounce that, so I'll just go Stozzle. 1930s in their Hermanova Hut factory. So, yeah, it says Austrian, but it's actually made. I think Hermanova Hut is actually in Czech Republic. So, what was I going to say? Yes. So the one we were looking at there was £2 because it was at the bargain bucket place around the back of the antique centre. So the question is that a real bargain or is it not? So went into eBay and scroll down, marked it to completed items. So I just put in search for Stozzle bowl. And yeah, so £7.99 for an amber one. Most of them are uranium green, and most of them are priced £11.99. So clearly amber is not as good as green, uranium green, because there are people that specifically collect uranium glass. So uranium glass has a little added extra in cost. If someone's collecting the bowls though, it seems like the blue ones are pretty rare. So does that mean the price is the same as this? Is not uranium? I would go in between and say £10. So £2 is a bargain. Yep, definitely. That's official. What else is cheap here? Yeah, that's Davidson's chevron bars. I'm back looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and I thought I'd do the same. So here are the chevron vases. You can see they come in different colours and frosted versions. I think they do frosted versions of all of them, and I think they're different sizes as well. But yeah, these are all sold, so there's no prices here. And I thought, oh, and the date, it says 1930s, but it's 1938 if you want to be a bit more precise. But I thought I'd do the same as I did before, and we'll go into eBay and see what they actually sell for. And here we go, there's loads of them. £8.99, there's a clear one. £10, £7.50, £9. Scroll up, you got all these different colours, but we'll just stick with looking at clear ones. £10, £9, £8.99, £10, £9, £6.50. Oh, that's a frosted one, so we won't count that one. But yeah, so you get the price, the idea. The prices seem to be sort of like between about £7.50 and £10. So a pound is a bargain. Again, that's official. These are sold. This is the going prices. There doesn't seem to be any that are going for a pound. £6 for a uranium green one seems to be cheap. Oh, there's a £4 one. Frosted ones seem to be a bit cheaper than the clear ones, but anyway, it does look like if you wanted to make a little row of them or different colors, it would be very easy to do and you wouldn't need to spend too much money. But anyway, a pound is definitely a bargain. And here's something interesting as well. See, it's got celery written on it, so that means it was made during the war. And that looks like a Thomas Webb pattern. There's a Bosch though. I thought I would come on camera for this and explain what I was just saying then. So yeah, there is a difference between knowing you've read something and knowing where you've read it. So I will tell you why I was saying that little celery vase was made in the war. So during the war, you couldn't make art glass, and that included vases, vases for flowers. So people were having celery in celery vases because they've been doing it a long time, and it was a way round the vase thing. And so to comply with the regulations that said it was tableware, it had to be a celery vase because it was for putting food in, and if you etch the word celery on it, it meant it was definitely a celery vase and not a flower vase, which is art glass, which for wartime reasons they weren't allowed to just be going off making flower vases. So there you go. That's the explanation of why when you see the word celery written on a celery vase, it means it was made during the rationing period during the war. Okay, all right, thanks. This is interesting. I think this is done in Glasgow, but it's in mauve. I've never seen it in mauve before, without a white interior. But it look, it's got the clear foot. And then no, maybe it isn't because it doesn't have a broken pontle. But yeah, the way it's done, the frill. I wonder if someone's now copying them. If it is done in Glasgow, it's from the 60s to the 80s. So, I've never seen a Darling Glass Company snowflake vase in that puce colour before. So I thought, rather than just go to my normal references, I'll just do a general search and see, can I find anything in that colour? So I put in Darling Glass Snowflake, okay, because I know it's a snowflake range. And so I do know that they come with this blush on white, this red blush here. You can see there's a few of those. That's a really unusual one. Yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes, but they generally have a lighter background, and then they've got this swirl around the middle. And if they've got a foot, it's always in clear. So you can see this one has got a foot, it's in clear. And it is cased, and they're usually white on the inside. But there's another one with a clear foot. I think just about, I can't tell with that one, it's too small. But there's another one with a clear foot. If it's sitting on a proper foot, it's always clear. And yeah, so this is the only one that's come. This is not quite the same color. This is the only one that's come up. So you do see them in blue and in green as well. If blue and green are a bit rarer. There's a green one. The thing that, and there is a lot of shapes. One of the things I've learned doing this is there are jugs and glasses. That's a surprise. And yeah, and there are a few more shapes than I realized that there were, so that some of them are rare. Like this is a fairly common style, and this, and then you get something like this from time to time with a foot on it. But this is, I've not seen this before, and I clicked through because this is on sale on Etsy, and each glass has got an original label on it. Yeah, it's £158.51 because it's on sale in Canada, and it's nice because you've got the label, made in China, snowflakes, and he's saying 1960s, which is yeah, I think that's probably right. And the label looks like that kind of period anyway. So there we go. I think it is. Not 100% certain, but I think it is Dalian Glasgow because there is one other Picky Puces colour one. You may not know, but I can't pass a tray of stoppers without having a good look to see if there's anything special in there. And there's a couple in here that I'm interested in. There's this one. It's a bit manky on the bottom, but yeah, that's okay. This is a better one. Yeah. So these two are early 19th century ones. What else? No. There's a couple of fine ones. That's quite fine there. But I'm not going to go for it. That one. That's a Pall Mall one. But yeah, no. I'm going to stick with these two. So normally I'm going, yeah, this is what I bought, but I made a mistake. So I put those stoppers in with my collection of stoppers, and if you saw my collection of stoppers, you know that I am not going to retrieve them anytime soon. And like, I probably have like about 60 or 70 of those style of stoppers, but I'll show you why I picked them. So I've got one like it here. It's like a mushroom, and it has cutting like this. Can you see? Now, if I this style of cutting is called cartwheel, and this means that this was made probably in the 1820s, 30s or 40s. So these stoppers are kind of like 180 to 200 years old. So yeah, that's why I was picking them up for £3 each. They're not super valuable. When you go back into the ones that are sort of like closer to 1800, then the prices start to climb for bullseyes and stuff. And I will do a video on stoppers, and I'll give you a quick dip into my collection. Yeah, I have quite a lot, and when I say I can do a video that covers every kind of stopper, yeah, I really can. So anyway, yeah, that's the kind of stoppers that I was buying there. So I'm back at the area that I said I'd come back to. There doesn't seem to be that much that's new that's attracted me. This is nice. This is a bludgeon decanter, sort of like 1845, 65. Looks to be in good nick. It's £29. You easily get a bottle of wine in there, easy. That's quite nice. And the other thing I saw was this here. So this is nice quality. It's £58 though. Yeah, he's saying Art Nouveau. I'm inclined to agree with him. And this is it. Oh, this is interesting too. 39. Amber flask. So this is Book's bottle. So this is a wine bottle that's been made into a little claret jug. And yeah, so that's sort of like mid 19th century as well, so that's over 150 years old, so that's quite nice. And oh, I didn't spot these here actually. If you have an empty Tantalus, oh, he wants £99, but if you have an empty Tantalus, you can do them here because he's got a set of three decanters. So I hope you enjoyed that. This film was a little bit delayed because I've been away for a few days, and whilst I was away, I did actually manage to, yeah, I did another film. So when I was going there, we stopped for a little break, and spotted this antique centre. Went in, said, "Can I do a film in here?" And they said, yes. I said, I'll do it on the way home. So, yeah, I have another film. It's a good one. It's going to be a two-parter. So, yeah, it's some really nice things. And it's really nice to go somewhere and film where I've never been before as an antique centre, just to go in and have a mooch around. And, I had to be dragged away in the end because we still had quite a bit of way to go home. So it's a bit shorter than I'd have liked. Well, I could have stayed another 20 minutes or so, but anyway, my wife was saying, it's pouring rain and we need to go home because we got over an hour's drive yet. Anyway, that's another story. So with that said, all the references will be in the description below, and the books that I've used, and all the contact details for Brackley Antique Cellar will be in the description below as well. So thank you very much. Good night.